What is my favorite hijab color? Ooh, that's a good question. How did your relationship with exercise change over the years? If you're not gonna work out that day, that's fine, but I still want you in the gym. Salam, hello. Welcome to yet another video with me. So today's video, I'm gonna be answering your guys' questions. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me whatever you guys wanted, and I was gonna answer them in this video. So here we go. Question number 1 is, what motivated you to go swimming? I met someone who was not only doing marathons, but they were also doing triathlon training. And I never knew triathlons were a thing. I was like, wait, what do you mean a triathlon? So you swim, you bike, and you run, but like all at once? And I was kind of like, I want to do that. And so I went into the pool one day at my local gym and I set a goal for myself. And I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to swim and I'm going to learn how to swim properly because I want to do a triathlon.
I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't.
And a month later, I was practicing like 4 or 5 times a week on my own, just watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and I fell in love with it. Like, I loved it so much. It was such a nice way to recover from after your workouts. It was a great form of cardio. And on top of that, it was really like relaxing because when you're underwater and your ears are submerged in the water, you can't really hear much. And so it feels very peaceful, very calming, very quiet for the soul. And it's a beautiful form of movement. So I guess that's what motivated me to go swimming. I see something, I want something, and I try something. And if I like it, it sticks. What is my favorite hijab color? I think when I first started wearing the hijab, I really liked black because it was easy to match and it also felt very comfortable. I know I'm wearing a black hijab today and it's not like I don't wear black anymore. But I have been loving more like deep jewel tones for my hijab. So like thinking sapphire blue, green emerald, maroon. Those type of colors I think really bring out my features, and I really like darker hijab colors than like light bright neon ones. How do you juggle being a mom, a wife, and a provider all in one? I think it has a lot to do with my support system. I have a husband who is just as active and just as passionate and just as supportive as I am, and I think we make a pretty good team. It's gotten a little bit easier and a little harder at the same time as my kids have gotten older. Right now, both of my kids are in school full time. So I have a lot of free time during the day to really get the things that I need to get done. Along with that, I think setting aside time where we put our phones away, we put our computers away, we put everything that's work-wise away, and we just really dedicate it to our kids. What does a focused training block actually look like day to day? So my training blocks have changed a lot over the last year, if you've noticed. Last year, it was primarily all running. I was training heavily for marathons, and that was a lot. I wasn't weight training as much as I would have liked to. This year, it's all about focused hybrid training and triathlon training. So that means that my training block includes 3 to 4 days of strength training, 4 days of swimming training, and 2 days of running training, and 2 days of cycling. That's a lot, but I'm usually doing brick days where I am doing at least 2 or 3 of these activities all at once. So that's kind of what my training block is looking like. How do you actually stay consistent when life gets chaotic? I can't remember a time in my life where it wasn't chaotic, if I'm being quite honest. Since I was young, when I first got married, I was 18. And when I had my first child, I was 19. I had my baby, and 2 weeks after my C-section, I actually ended up going back to school. My oldest daughter is 10, and so I've been juggling chaos for the last 10 years. But I will say what has helped a lot with just like managing it in general has been scheduling things out. It basically looks like categorizing my tasks by highest to least importance. I don't believe in operating within 24 hours because I think that 24 hours is technically a social construct of time. It's totally okay to allow life to happen and to push things out. As long as they get done and you're pushing things out day by day and you're still making progress, that's good enough. What do you do when motivation is completely gone? Overall, it's really consistency over motivation because motivation does come up and down. So as long as you're able to build consistency and you're able to remove decision fatigue throughout your day, you are going to have a much higher success at doing the things that you set out to do, even though you have a low energy day or life happens or there's excuses and so on and so forth. What is one habit that genuinely changed your life? I don't know if it's a habit, but it's more of like a mind frame, I think, that everything's going to work out and it's going to be okay. Over the last 2 years, actually, this concept has really helped propel my life in ways that I never thought possible. How do you decide what's worth your energy and what's not? I like to think of energy as currency. There are certain things that you can invest more energy into and you're going to get more out of. And that could either be like monetary, so financially, you can put something in and you're going to see a monetary gain. Or it could be on a scale of happiness as a currency, right? Spending more time with a certain friend who actually genuinely makes you feel good and happy. So even though you're exchanging your time, you are getting something out of that. And that is being happier and that is being more, I guess, relaxed, or you feel more of an interpersonal connection. And there's also things that generally just don't bring me joy that I dread. If I have to think about something and it keeps me up at night and it is making me exhausted, then that's not worth my energy. That's something that I'm going to do my best to shake off really quick.
We're good, bro. You can go. You don't have to. You can hang around. Still great, but you can go.
How do you train when you are exhausted? This Whoop I wear all the time, 24/7, and it is really good about telling me how much I've slept, what my recovery is, what my strain is, and all the important data points that I need to know if it's going to be an optimal training day. It has been a game changer for me in deciding whether or not a workout is going to happen or what type of workout is going to happen depending on my recovery level and my strain from the prior day. If I feel exhausted, but my strain was through the roof and it says that my recovery is in the red zone, I'm probably not going to train, or I'm going to choose a way less intense training type. So for example, I might swap running for swimming, or I might actually opt to just do a light sauna session with a walk, or maybe I'll just run for a mile. Anyway, just really trying to gauge what the data is telling me, what my body is telling me, and trying to make these kind of factors click together is how I train while I'm still exhausted, or whether I not train because I'm actually truly exhausted and my body needs to recover. How did your relationship with exercise change over the years? When I was super overweight, my highest weight was 225 pounds and I'm only 5'2". So mind you, I was severely, significantly obese. And that was after my first child. I don't know what it is, but I just tend to gain a lot of weight during my pregnancies and the weight does not come off. The first time around, it was before I was even a trainer, before I had any knowledge in exercise. And so I used to do a lot of cardio and I hated it. I would work out as a form of punishment and just for one reason only, and that was to get skinny and to get tiny and to just, I guess, conform to what I thought was beautiful or what the norm was. I started to train more because I loved my body and because I wanted to feel strong, and I stopped thinking about the size of my body or what it looked like as my primary goal. It's like I have had blocks of training in my life where I've done kickboxing, I've done swimming, I've done running, I've done weight training, I've done powerlifting, I've done a bodybuilding stint. In today's day and time, I think therapy is too expensive, so exercise is my free form of therapy. Go off, guys. Truly, these questions are so good. How did you get out of your own head? Fitness-wise, I think I was more in my head when I was a newbie in the gym. And I was very much in my head. I felt like everyone was looking at me and I couldn't do certain movements. If I couldn't figure out a machine or I didn't know how to do a certain exercise, I would just not do it. And then I would try and stay in a corner because I felt like everyone was staring at me. And I think that's something that happens with time. And it's something that I've told so many of my clients that if you're not going to work out that day, that's fine. But I still want you in the gym. You should go to the gym. You should spend time in the gym because the more you're able to do that, the more you're going to feel more comfortable. And you actually notice that people are in the gym to better themselves. I really love people who go to the gym because that's truly what it is. It's just a bunch of people trying to do better. And there isn't really anyone staring at you or doing anything unless you're doing something completely psychotic and like super disruptive in the gym. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are pretty normal in the gym. So it would really have to be out there and really disruptive for people to actually start staring at you and like being bothered by your presence. How do you pronounce your brand name and what does it even stand for? So the brand name is Verify, VRFY, and it's basically a shortened version of Verify, VERIFY, and it stands for the verification and the knowledge of truth. And finally, the last question that I'm going to be answering is, what would you tell someone who feels stuck? So within this box that you're in, there is one door, right? And there is several windows. You just have to be willing to skip the door and actually opt for the window. You have to be willing to get on your hands and your knees to get a little dirty, to go through those windows and to be able to become unstuck. Those are the questions for today. Thank you guys so much for asking all these questions. I really enjoyed answering these questions, and I hope that we can continue these series. Do let me know in the comments below if this is something that resonated with you, if there is another question that you would like me to answer. And yeah, just keep me updated on your life. I want to know about you guys too. I will catch you guys on the next video, inshallah. And as always, please let me know if you enjoy this type of content. It helps me to know if I should continue creating content just like this. Okay, salam, love you guys. Bye.